Hello there, welcome back to the Ogre, the old Git Reacts, Reviews and Off Times Reminiscences. I've been a bit of a lazy sod of late. I've not done any of these for quite a while, mainly due to an injury, to be honest, which meant I couldn't talk very well, which you probably wouldn't be able to notice, but once you get out the loop a little bit, it's not hard to get back into, but other things sort of find a way back in, find the way to distract you and mean that you don't stick with it. So I had to make a concerted effort today to make a fresh start, start doing some more videos. I'm sure you're all delighted. Anyway, today we're doing Echoes of Gloom with this one. Let's have a little listen, shall we? Yes, we shall. So, depending on your points of reference, you might have a number of views, or a different view to me as to what this evokes. For me, if I was younger, this might hint of the sort of medieval black metal that you hear occasionally, the sort of obsequious, autumn fall-y type stuff. But because I'm the age I am, this actually evokes for me some of the rock bands, not prog rock, but I don't want to say folk rock either, because they weren't particularly folky. Maybe somewhere in between. There's an element of this music that reminds me of those sort of bands, early 70s, and I suppose as a result there's a nostalgic aspect to this for me, even though clearly it's black metal and a modern black metal, but hey ho. Tell them out of sorts. So, as often the case with me, the subject matter doesn't particularly line up with the sound the colour of the sound. For me, the music on this particular track is more than adequately suggested by the ochres and oranges in the album cover. There's a warmth to it, to my ears, and so the track is called Throes of Bereavement, which suggests anything but, well, it doesn't negate the sense of warmth, but suggests more sorrowful things, where for me so far anyway, the music doesn't convey that. But that of course is something that I've mentioned more than once here, how in the absence of context, music can mean one or two things, or sound like one or two different things to other people. The SPM, for example, for me, hardly ever sounds wretched, particularly in the absence of wretched vocals. But something else I can say, oh yeah, I just mentioned the vocals, but I'll wait a minute for that. As is so often the case when I make an observation, the artist is often listening and saying, "What the fuck are you talking about, Mac?" Because as soon as I've made the previous statement, the music has turned more sombre, more contemplative, and more in keeping with the track title. So yes, as often the case for me. It's not as if I haven't heard this track time and time again, because I bought the album well before Christmas, I think it was, and so I've heard it plenty of times. But in my defence, when I listen to it for my own enjoyment, I don't particularly pay attention. I sort of just let it envelop me and let it conjure whatever it will. I quite like the vocals here as well. The gnarly. Gnarled rather than gnarly, a gnarled vocal, sort of the voice of which wouldn't go amiss in the throat of a elderly ex-opal miner sat outside some watering hole somewhere in the Australian interior, recounting tales of loss, both emotionally and financially, I imagine, out there.
Yeah.
the brooding nature of this track goes some way to being representative of some of the other tracks on the album. There are livelier numbers on this album, but for some reason, don't know why, this one's sort of I've taken to all the tracks, but this one just sort of why do I keep saying sort of again? It's because I've not been doing these videos for a while, so bad habits creep back in again. Yes, it's got its hooks in this track, more than the other ones have, which I make this remark purely on the basis that normally this sort of this kind of music played this way doesn't always meet with my appreciation. So regular viewers, you precious few, will know that my preferences are the speedier, noisier numbers, but good music is good music, and so what I hear here delights. So there you go. Even when the shackles are off, this music still sounds light of touch. It's not a heavy sound, relatively speaking, and thus the atmosphere and the context is kept true to the rest of the track. This is Throes of Bereavement Part 1. There's a Throes of Bereavement Part 2, strangely enough, which comes straight afterwards. I can't remember that, going back in and listening. The thing with me is some people listen to albums time and time over, one after the other. I can't do that, I don't do that. I'll just listen to one album at a time, and I might not listen to that album again for some considerable time, and so I forget what the other tracks on the album sound like very often in any detail. I get the gist of it. But anyway, so quite morose, this album, so, and come on, with an artist name like that, it's no surprise it does sound morose and introspective to a degree. But it is a compelling enough listen. As I say, I don't give my money away freely, and I bought it, so there you are. Okay, so I best go and check now that what I've been doing has actually transferred itself properly into a listenable video, because as I say, it's at least a month since I did any of these. I slapped myself on the wrist accordingly, so you don't have to, and I best keep it up now, haven't I? Yes, so there you go. Alright, clicky box. Catch you next time. Cheerio.